Welcome to the Love Bomb Collective podcast, where I keep it real and relevant for people just like you and me. My heart for this podcast is that it will spark hope in your daily life and create a safe space for real conversations and community. I'm your host, Ray Shields, and today we're going to go old school, kind of like a blast from the past, way back from 1992, when Gary Chapman created a communications tool from years of family counseling, and then he wrote a book called The Five Love Languages. In this mini series, I'm going to go bring you some uploads, downloads, and then where it landed for me personally, which I call the destinations, where I've had personal experiences firsthand, along with 30 years of marriage, and how my husband and I have kept what Gary calls keeping our love tank full. But don't worry, it isn't just about couples, it's for anyone who wants to love better and connect deeper with family and friends and coworkers, and especially with ourselves. So, we're going to dive into one of the most simple but powerful tools for better relationships. And who doesn't want that? I came across this book about, I think, 25 years ago when I was desperately trying to figure out how to get along and communicate with my husband, Bill. It was such a simple approach to understanding what he did, why he did it, and not what I wanted him to. And I was struggling to figure out, how to get along and what we needed from each other in order to help our marriage survive. So recently, I kept being reminded about the five love languages during several conversations that I was having with other people who were also struggling with their relationships as well. So I thought back long ago when Bill and I started to shift in our communication skills. It was like one small step for man, but a giant leap for our marriage. Looking back over the last 30 years of marriage, I have no doubt that Gary Chapman's book was a marker and how it played a big role in helping us to survive the lack of communication skills that we had. Along, with all of the other stress and challenges in life in general that we really had at that time. But today, you know what? We are more in love than we've ever been. We're actually best friends. We're adventurous. We're goofy together. He makes me laugh so hard because he's really super dorky and his humor is too. But the bonus is ding, ding, ding. We really do have a great sex life, TMI. But don't get me wrong, we have our moments. Things are not perfect, but we really, really enjoy our relationship. Let's get real. If you're going to commit to someone for the rest of your life, don't you want it to be enjoyable and worth it? Are you curious about this topic? Then let's explore it together and dive in. So, in the next 5 episodes, I'm going to break down the book in summary in one love language at a time in everyday terms so you can take what you need and actually use it in real life. So grab your coffee or a journal or just a few minutes to yourself and let's get into it. So let's start with the basics. What in the world is a love language? Well, according to the works of Gary Chapman, there are 5 primary love languages and ways that people express and receive love. And understanding your own love language and another person's love language can improve communication, emotional connection, as well as relationship satisfaction. And I believe that everyone is looking for practical ways to love better. I know I am. So here they are, the 5 love languages. The first one is words of affirmation, expressing love through spoken or written words of appreciation, praise, or encouragement, or even affection. For example, simple I love you, verbal compliments, notes, and verbal encouragement. Number 2, acts of service. Actions speak louder than words, doing things that help your partner that makes their life easier. For example, cooking a meal, running errands, or just doing chores or fixing something. The next is receiving gifts, receiving thoughtful gifts that show that you were thinking about that person. It's not about materialism, but about the meaning that you're putting behind the gift that's important. Quality time, giving your partner undivided attention and spending meaningful time together, like going for a walk or having a deep conversation or just doing some type of shared activity. The next one is physical touch, expressing love through physical contact, like holding hands, hugging, kissing, cuddling, and other affectionate, healthy touches. So everyone has a primary love language, one that makes them feel most love. And you will find that there's usually like a sub love language, which will only reinforce the primary. And this was an aha eureka moment for me when I realized that most understandings, arguments, and feelings of rejections are when people are having two different love languages and they're not communicating, especially when at no fault of their own. They simply aren't aware that love languages even exist. And honestly, understanding my husband's love language was a game changer in our marriage. His is gifts of service. And once I discovered that, a lot of things changed. Why? Because it was the simple things like bringing him his afternoon coffee without him asking me awakened something inside of him towards me. And I started watching him respond in the most interesting ways. I mean, he would almost get like surprised or sparkly the more that I chose to honor him in this way. But let me be clear, I'm not acting as a servant mindset, like serving him at his beck and call. Please don't think that. But I really was curious about this approach and decided to give the whole idea a test run. It was like I had found the magic wand of love. The beautiful thing about the love languages is that there is so much good energy behind opening up your heart to this. And there are so many benefits. And I would encourage you to take the quiz and get your partner to do it as well and watch them. So, you can become the love alchemist too. So the goal is to physically speak another person's love language and foster stronger, more loving relationships. And remembering it doesn't have to be your spouse. This works across the board with any person you want to love better or communicate better with. You and I and others want to be, we want to be felt, seen, cared for, and understood. And we all give and receive love differently. But this book, it's a simple and doable way. It teaches you a simple, doable way to take that action. And I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. So you can take the test on the website, fivelovelanguages.com. And if you're interested in finding out like what your primary love languages is, just remember it's not just for lovers, it's for teens, children, and friends. So are you ready to fill up your love tank? If you are, let's go. On the next podcast, we'll explore words of affirmation. A big love to you all, and bye for now.